1, 2, 3. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Discover RPG, the weekly chat show where we take your questions about RPGs and D&D and we substitute them with our own and try to stay on topic, which that's never the goal. Staying on topic's never the goal. We're having a good time, and we are in recovery mode, but pleasant recovery mode from WonderCon in Anaheim that was this past week. How are you recovering, Logan, from that?
I am recovering very well.
From
although strange things are about to start happening, so because I'm going to put up an advertisement. Oh, god darn it.
I like that too. It's very nice. We should have our hearts up. That would be so nice.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, so I will do a little bit of playful banter. It will be playful solo banter. Please feel free to check in with me, chat, because I will just be talking for a while. So, this past week, we went to WonderCon, which was in Anaheim, California, and we were there from, I think, Thursday till Sunday. And we are going to be talking about that a lot today. If you take a look at our session plan.
Lights!
Hooray! Lights.
Studio lights.
You are illuminated.
You can see very clearly where I cut myself shaving.
Oh, jeez.
So.
It's just a chin. It's just a chin stud. It's fine. Don't
just a little chin button. Yeah, it's got the little. I got pierced way down here, not up here where it belongs, but
nope.
It's like right through the card.
So if you check the session plan, you might see that we're going to be circling a lot of the same topic today. We are going to be doing a bit of a recap.
No, they're all different. Every single thing up there is different.
Mm-hmm.
We've got WonderCon. Then we've got to talk about our Nerds with Meetup. Then we're going to talk about WonderCon. Then we got Nyacon to talk about. Then we're going to talk about WonderCon. And then we got an 8 review,
where we talk more about WonderCon. All right. So, as I said, this past week we went to WonderCon 2019.
Almost like we didn't have time to come up with anything else.
It's okay. It's fine. This was a good topic because, honestly, I've only been to a couple cons. I will out myself. Went to Rose City last year.
You've been to three major cons in the past year.
But 3 only ever. So, jump into the deep end.
Yeah, but I was going to say, you got some really hardline experience there. You went straight through.
But yeah, so I went to Dragon Con and Rose City Comic Con last year, and this was my third and probably biggest con that I'd been to. Dragon Con was pretty massive, but WonderCon is all in one place. So you see everybody at the same time, which is a very different situation than fluttering between 6 different Atlanta hotels. Most people are just like chugging up hills on sidewalks at Dragon Con. But yeah, so I had a very, very good time at WonderCon.
Good.
It was busy as all heck.
Yes, it was crazy.
It was nothing but herding cats, but it was very illuminating. And from the perspective of somebody who is part of a network that is, we're not in our infant stages anymore, but we're definitely teetering toddlers right now. We're getting there.
We're going through our terrible twos.
Yes, we are. But from the perspective of somebody with a network that is making its way downtown. Toddlering fast.
I've got Disco Duck stuck in my head thanks to Matthew, but it's to the tune of Darkwing Duck, and it ends with Let's Get Funkalicious. So let's just go, just all the music. Let's just move on.
That's an overall improvement, I think. Darkwing Duck's a pretty rad theme song. But anyway, we got to talk to a lot of really cool people, not just, oh my god, we have fans that saw us and were excited to meet us. That was amazing.
That was crazy.
But getting to talk to other creators and people who are maybe on our tier, and then maybe people who are several tiers higher than us in terms of experience and whatever your definition of success would be. People who've just been in the industry for a while. That was super awesome to be able to ask them questions and honestly just talk to them as peers. That was probably my weirdest experience.
Except for Perception Check, who I molested, but that's okay. I got a little excited. I fanboyed a little bit too hard in front of the Level Up dice. As a matter of fact, if you go and watch their the Perception Studios 20 minutes or so WonderCon video, they actually casually mentioned that there was some excitement in front of the Level Up video, Level Up dice booth, and I'm pretty sure they were talking about me. So,
like, excitement, excitement, as in like grabbing someone's collar and go, "Do you know who you are?"
Basically, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But they were very generous and very nice and talked to us for almost 45 minutes. And then we saw them, and I went and hung out with them at the bar afterwards, after one night for a little while. They're very, very cool people. They have one of the funniest shows on Twitch. I don't know how they don't have 1 million views, but if you've never watched Perception Studios, Perception Check, where Danny and Ryan and all of them. Danny specifically plays Cucumber, a puppet. He's a puppeteer. He's worked with Disney and a bunch of other places, and he plays a puppet, Cucumber, on the show. And then there's another puppet, Chunk, and there's another puppet, Willow, and they are just they're hilarious. Their most recent one was I 45 minutes into it, I couldn't breathe. But anyway, enough promoting other shows.
Well,
go check them out.
Secondhand Samurai had a good point. I'll link to Perception Check.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We don't mind talking about it. We are hoping that we might have some of them on our show or helping us out during the sub drive or something coming up. But we know they're also very busy. But yeah, they are just absolutely incredible. If you've never seen it, it's amazing. It is a spectacle. Don't expect a lot of serious D&D play. Literally an hour and a half into it, I think they made it 10 feet and in one combat with 12 NPCs that were generated by the audience. So it is not the destination. It's not exactly. It's about the story and the singing. There's a lot of singing.
And if you are just on VOD watching this, you can find them at twitch.tv/Perception Studio. Mm-hmm. That's how you can find them. But yeah, they were super awesome. It was really cool to meet them. And yeah, we found a bunch of people that we might have as guests. We've cultivated a few guests. I'm very excited. We'll announce them when they're actually locked in.
Yeah, we should probably do that. Just actually when we actually talk to them about being on the show. I mean, we have talked to a few of them about being on the show and doing some stuff together and collaborating. So, but yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Lesson number 1 from going to WonderCon as a creator. You meet people, you make connections, you get cards. Then you got to go home and follow up. You can't just not talk to them again if you want to work with them. So that's my task this week, is to email people and be like,
and don't be offended if they don't really remember you 100%. It happens. I've had people contact me after, be like, we met here. And I'm like, I met 1,000 people this weekend. But it does not mean that I don't want to work with you. And I feel the same the other way around.
And that is why I think going forward, it would be fun to have like one of those like newer Polaroids that print out the little, they print out like little business card size Polaroids. Anyway, the point is, you meet somebody, you take a picture with them, and then you stick it to the business card. So you have their picture attached to the business card. Plus, everybody freaking like those things. And they're not that expensive.
That's a great idea. I really like that idea a lot.
So, Nerdsmith branded Polaroid camera. We get an orange one.
Oh, there we go.
That's going in my notes. We're so productive today.
All sorts of great things here. We're already getting into this. What else? What else happened day 1? I'm trying to remember day 1.
Day 1, I flew for a while.
We have 3 WonderCon-esque topics for 3 different days. See, I almost thought I don't remember what happened on one day or another. So
I have to differentiate.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, let's just pretend that whatever we talk about right now happened on day 1.
Okay, so day 1, we went to panels.
We also got there a little early. We got to hang out with all the CH people in one big house. That was a lot of fun.
Yes, many of the Countless Heroes.
Everyone except Aiden and Loki were there. That was crazy. Said 14 of the Countless Heroes were all there. That was a lot of fun. And then we had a couple other people to boot. Fennec was there. That was awesome. We can't talk about Fennec until Wunderkern, because that didn't happen until day 3. No, I guess it happened on WonderCon, which was day 2. So that technically, I guess it depends on where you cut the day off, sleep or midnight.
Okay, so I have a question. Sure. It's probably not going to be just for the one day. instead of your favorite, because sometimes it's hard to remember what you saw, but what is an iconic cosplay that you saw and remember as being very, very cool while you were there? What was
Besides all the countless heroes playing their characters, that was very cool. We have lots of photos up. We'll be getting more of those up as we go, but that was amazing. Jay playing Oshin just blew my mind. Caden playing Nathan and Chelsea playing OM, the original Mari. It was very, very, and hopefully the soon to be Mari.
It
was very, very good.
Logan, it's Humari.
Humari. I love it. Human Mari. Let's see what else.
Besides our internal cosplay.
You know what I want? You remember when we went outside? Like, I don't remember. And we walked outside, we looked over, and there's this humongous pile of armor just sitting there. I want to know what that cosplay was, because obviously there was probably like 27 people inside of it, but it was just laying there.
No, I think it was attached to wheels, and that it was like a giant skirt-like thing they rolled around with.
I agree with you, but that cosplay got me thinking the most. And then I like what we learned in the panel, although we didn't see this and it didn't happen at this con, I don't think. But when we're talking about the how to get press coverage panel, when they talked about the 5 luchadors coming in, the 5 luchadors ever came in sync, sat down in the middle of a one panel one day. I think it was a few years ago. Stayed 3 minutes, evidently pretty much exactly, got up and walked out. And they're like, it was the best marketing, but they have no idea what they were selling.
It was both the best and the worst marketing.
Yeah, the best and worst marketing ever. But I was like, that sounds crazy. I would like to do that. Maybe it's Pumat Soul. Get 5 Pumat Souls to just walk around and go and leave places.
Yeah. Let me see. There was a really wonderfully professional group of POC cosplayers that were all dressed up like the Justice League. And they had a guy walking in front of them with a camera, and he was rolling a giant speaker. It was just pumping dramatic DC Universe music. It was really cool. They all looked amazing. They were very high quality cosplay.
I love the official Ghostbuster group now that there's a SoCal Ghostbusters organization, kind of like the 501st. So everywhere we looked, there were Ghostbusters all day. I love seeing the Ghostbusters. Of course, the 501st was there doing their thing. The Browncoats were there. They were great. All those
they were raising money for charity.
Semi-professionals. Cool. Yeah. All those little semi-professional groups are amazing.
The one that broke my brain that made me so happy. So right next to the Star Wars droid builder guys, the people that make R2-D2s and BB-8s and all of those, there was a Wally builders group, and it was so cute. And the Wallies were like 3 feet tall. They were 3.5 feet tall, and
they were so interactive. Every bit of them moved. It was amazing.
Yeah, those were so good. I was so happy. My niece watched Wall-E 20 times in the month of March. And when I sat next to her after I got home and said, I saw Wall-E, she went, she got so excited when I told her I'd seen Wall-E. It was so cute.
And it's kind of funny because if you take Wall-E and you put it in that scale, it makes that movie very scary, because that means all the humans became giant in more ways than one. Which I thought was hilarious.
You know what
killed me? You know what killed me every time I saw it?
What?
I've never ever in my life seen this cosplayed before, and I saw 7 or 8 different people cosplaying Stan Lee this year, and it broke my fucking heart every time. I was like, and some of them were actually old men, and I was like, they look really good. But I'm pretty sure I saw somebody that was like 16 doing it, and they did a very good job. And I was just like, across the board, I was just like, no, not okay. You don't get to do that. I'm pretty sure one of them had a sign that said, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. So
How dare.
Not okay.
See if I can find them. I saw cosplay celebrities I wasn't expecting.
Cosplay celebrities?
Yeah. They go under the name Cosplay Parents. They are a retired couple named, let me see, I found it, Stephen and Millie Tanny. And Stephen and Millie go around and do amazing couple cosplay. That's a really big link.
Wow.
I apologize. That's a bad link, yeah.
You broke.
Hold on.
You broke. Get a better link.
Well, it's Facebook's link. How dare?
How dare Facebook? They don't want you to link to that. That's the.
They need to be celebrated. Anyway, here's their Instagram. So I saw them at WonderCon. Just I didn't bother them too much, but they were dressed as Mary Poppins and I think Lin-Manuel's character in the sequel. Yes. I don't think they were just like the original, but they looked really wonderful and they're really adorable. It's the best kind of couples dressing together coordinated that I've ever seen, and I was very happy to see them, that they were there. So that was fun. I liked that.
Yes, they are amazing.
So how about...
And they take what I like about them is they take, if you look at their Instagram, they take coordinated photos. They don't just put up any photos they take of the two of them being adorable in their costumes, but they take photos usually with the appropriate characters at Disneyland and things like that as they go. I like that a lot.
Yeah. They have a really good one of them dressed up like Dr. Grant and Ellie from Jurassic Park. Anyway, so we saw, of course, you go to a con, you see a ton of really amazing cosplay. WonderCon was obviously no exception. So we were just, I live in a college town in which our college colors, our university colors, are very garish. They're very bright, and you can always see people when they're in their school colors. And we had just gotten back into
Garrosh. It's a World of Warcraft character.
Mm-hmm. We were driving back into town, and I saw someone wearing a sort of super bright colored sweater. And my brain went, oh, what are they cosplaying as? And that happened like 4 times when we were driving home, because I had been surrounded by people in costume for like almost a week. It was very hard to it was really hard to recondition my brain.
Why can't we just do that in life? Why can't we just wear cosplay everywhere?
Because it's a pain in the butt.
There are people who want to do this. There are people who want to be able to live that life. We should let them.
I agree. I'd love to see just an Ant-Man walking around.
How would you see him? Magnifying?
No, like regular size Ant-Man.
Regular size Ant-Man's just man.
Fine. Whatever. Scott Lang. Just that person. Smartass.
That person.
So what?
We're way out of practice here, people.
Yeah, we're still kind of decompressing from all the stuff we're doing. All the stuff we did and are doing right now. So what other things besides cosplay? We went to panels. We went to a lot of industry panels. Partly because this was a business trip. This was a business trip.
I don't think people have a problem. I mean, this episode's gonna be a little bit weird today. We're getting back in the swing of things.
Yeah. So we went to a lot of panels that had to do with being in a nerdy business, which makes a lot of sense for us. We wanted to learn what other people were doing. We learned one valuable lesson, that not all panels are created equal. That is true, but we're not going to shit on any panels by name. We're just going to say some were better than others.
Name. There were some that were just terrible. There was one that was just terrible.
Anyway,
although even in that one, we still walked away with a couple of good pieces of information.
You can always take something away, even if it's not that in this case.
It's what not to do.
Right. You can always get something valuable, hopefully, out of a con. If you try hard enough, you can get something valuable out of a panel. But so we went to a lot of stuff. We went to a Kickstarter panel, which I guess that's like spoilers, things in the pipeline for us. So we're hoping eventually to look at maybe kickstarting a couple projects. That was really, really valuable. We went to a panel about...
first lesson we learned, promote early. We're going to do a Kickstarter.
Dun, dun, dun.
Tell the world.
We went to a panel that was about getting press, how to get press. They were talking mostly about indie comics, but it was very applicable to almost anything. So we have a lot of really cool advice about getting our name out there. We love all of you that watch us. We would love more people to watch us. And so we're going to work on that over the next little while. So I'm very excited about that aspect. I got a lot of ideas So I'm looking forward to that one. We caught the tail end of a panel that was interviewing the author who wrote The Last Unicorn, and I don't know any of his other work at all, but that man was the most pleasant, engaging, magical storyteller I have ever heard speak. He's talking about like where I got my idea for a character, and I'm like, I would just
please do a podcast.
Yeah, it was so good. I was absolutely enamored by when finishing that panel.
He's definitely a bard, an oration bard, definitely. Yeah, you just see every word was just carefully chosen, very specific, very metered, just perfect.
Yes. Peter S. Beagle had quite a way with words.
Yes.
So yeah, we saw that. We went to a panel that was "We Are in the Nerd Business." That was very good. We met a lot of really cool people in that. The panelists were really interesting.
Which one?
We Are in the Nerd Business.
We Are in the Nerd Business. Which one?
Met
was that?
Badali Jewelry and Geek Girl Authority.
There's a lot of good information in that one, including talking about the. Well, who else did we meet?
There was her name was Janelle Badali from Badali Jewelry. Which if you've ever been to a con and you've seen a table that is full of Lord of the Rings, King Killer Chronicle, Dresden Files jewelry, like stuff canonically from those properties, that's Badali Jewelry. They are very, very talented. I am so impressed with them. I think Badali is the company that might make like the officially licensed Lord of the Rings stuff. So the one I don't know why I did that. The One Ring, and then they also had like the Even Star, like Arwen's that necklace from the movie, that sort of stuff. Very beautiful handcrafted work. It's I love it.
A lot of good information about intellectual property rights. They had the CEO and creator of Loot Crate was there, talking about his business and sharing some really great numbers with us. Like the fact they do about $10 million a month. I was like, that's a very impressive number. And that their San Diego Comic-Con booth, which evidently is a 2 or 3 story monstrosity, cost them about $500,000. These are just like fascinating numbers they threw out there that I'm just like, okay, and we're like a normal booth. Okay,
we're trying for a booth.
We'll go. I would love to. Actually, no, we put our paperwork in. We will as long as there's space, we will be.
That's what I'm saying. We're trying for one. We're hoping we have room.
So we put in our paperwork and everything because it's much cheaper to do now. But if it all goes well, we will be at WonderCon next year in a table. We'll have our big meetup next year. Also, which I think went really well. So I don't know that we're going to try to change it up much at all. I think that was a perfect, we originally thought about maybe doing a karaoke party or something like that, but I think what we did was great.
I think we can come up with other things to do at the party. That's all.
Yeah. Again, I don't know that we necessarily need to. It was, a pretty good meetup, and especially since we'll have a lot more creators there next year. And of course a lot more of our wonderful fans. God, that was so amazing. That was just incredible. So the meetup went extremely well. Yeah,
one of my favorite things about the meetup was the fact that before the event, we had already obviously had our Die Hard Dice giveaways, but we also went on the floor of the con, and specifically we're looking for creators who had things that we thought would be interesting to put into the raffle.
Yeah, we did a big raffle. We gave a lot of stuff away. Specifically, we went down looking for art. We hit Artist Row pretty heavily on Saturday to look for our things to purchase. Love supporting independent artists. That's one of the things I really enjoy about it. And had a couple of great meetings. Ran into an artist that Kyle and we went to WonderCon last year that we talked to. I'm trying to remember her name. It's Kristen Chow. Damn it, that's not right. No, I will find out. Kristen Chen? Kristen Lee?
Nope. Stop.
Kristen. Okay. It's Kristen. Something other. Anyway, she's wonderful. And I'm bad with names. I just don't have the cards in front of me. But I bought a bunch of art last year, and she basically remembered me a little bit, even though I gave her a hard time, playfully, knowing that, of course, she's not supposed to remember me. She told me a little wonderful story about a young lady who... Sorry, my wife is sending me pictures. I need to hide that. A wonderful story about a young woman who insisted that she guess her first and last name based on their meeting the previous convention, and evidently spent nearly 10 minutes trying to get her to guess it. So I gave her a hard time, and I joked with her a lot. And, but no, she was very, very wonderful. She actually says she does remember the two of us, remembers Nerdsmith. When we gave her the card, she was like, "Oh yes, I actually still have this card." I was like, "Wow, that's amazing." So it's shocking with the amount of cards she's probably handed at these conventions. She does 10 a year, that she still had our card, or she was just very generous and nice to say that she still has it. Either way, it's very nice. She was very sweet. What was her name? Did you get it?
I'm still looking.
Oh, okay.
I think it was Kristen LePau, but I need to double check.
How?
It doesn't matter. Let's not guess names. That seems disrespectful. So anyway, we met a bunch of really cool artists. We packed our raffle full of art and comics and cool crafty stuff from POC women and LGBT creators. We really wanted to sort of put our money where our mouth was, and make sure that we were giving and sharing artists that we thought deserved to have some attention. And I was very proud of that particular aspect of our raffle event. And some of the creators we got in the raffle even showed up to the party. So we got to plug their stuff in front of the audience, and they got to tell the audience what their stuff was about, which was so cool. We had a lot of really enthusiastic people.
Which one was this?
We had Brian and Thomas. We're going to talk about them in a bit.
Oh yes, yeah, exactly, yeah. Kristen Lau was the name of that artist. I put the link, KristenLau.com.
Yes, Kristen's incredibly talented.
Love all of her work.
It's like living in a Disney movie.
It really is.
I love it.
I didn't know she did 3D work, though. She doesn't have any of that at her booth, but I just saw on her website she does.
Cool. So, before Logan gets caught up in Kristen's portfolio on the website and we don't hear from him again. So what were some of the things we did? I mean, I bought too much stuff. That happened.
Way too much stuff. Actually, all of my money went to buying raffle prizes, so.
I bought a few raffle prizes. So I got some really cool art. I was very, very happy with. From a bunch of really talented painters. Andy and I need to reassess the things we have on our walls now, because I have so many things. Also, I have a pin problem now, which is a thing that was new. And as soon as I went to a con, apparently, I just started buying pins and then never stopped.
I didn't see as many pin vendors. Well, I did, but they are all going to this plastic acrylic. This screen printed plastic acrylic pin. And I'm not a big fan of those. I'm sure it's great, it's popular, and I might be into them in a year or two. But initially, the metal pins. I know the process that goes into them. I know they're hand colored. There's a lot of work that goes into them, a lot of detail, and they're just gorgeous. I have a hard time not just really loving enamel pins. And the clear ones I know are a much simpler process and can be turned out in bulk, and they're cheaper. That's part of why they're popular right now with people, but they're also new and it's a fun little process. But yeah, enamel pins are just they're gorgeous.
I got one from a creator who had a series of 3. I was so bad I had to really hold off not buying all of her little D&D art, her little baby monster art. That's where your owlbear came from.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
And I don't know if you have it. But anyway, the idea that she had these 3 glow-in-the-dark pins, that I got the dragon on a D20, and the D20 glows. It's very cute. Then there was a beholder where all of the eyes glowed. And then there was it was a gelatinous cube. It was a jelly cube. And it was this cute little gelatinous cube that had little bones and stuff floating inside it, and the cube glowed. It was very, very adorable.
Very cool.
But yeah, they were super adorable.
Oh, hi, Kyle. We didn't say hi to our audience today, really.
We didn't. Do you want to?
We didn't say hello, everyone. How are you guys? Sorry. I see Kyle Gold is with us. I see my wife is there. I see Matthew. I see Mad Rogue. So good to see you guys. I saw Jay earlier.
Secondhand Samurai was here for a little while.
Oh, I miss Secondhand Samurai. We've been poking them. Gotta get some amazing things going on. We got so much. The problem with going to these conventions, we come back with a zillion things to do.
Hey, there you are. I didn't see you in the.
I'm still here. Good to see you, buddy. Sorry, we're not talking about D&D today. We're talking about WonderCon.
I'm so sorry, Samurai. I didn't see you because you're in the VIP list of our chat members. So I went, I don't see him in the list. And if I looked at the group above, I found you. It's okay.
Oh, VIP.
So walking back a little bit to the meetup, Logan and I designed 2 really kick-ass banners for our meetup.
We did.
For our sponsors. So World Anvil had a big old banner that said "Light Up the Forge," and it had our logos and stuff on it. And then we had another one that was for Die Hard that we had. So we were able to show off our really kick-ass sponsor banners that we'll be able to use more than once because they're wonderful. And I'm very excited to continue
using them like crazy. And we actually think, speaking of cons in general, though, we're also applying to go to the Geek Girl Con up in Seattle.
Very cool.
In a few months. That's I think no, it's not happening in May. The deadline was May, so it's probably happening in August or October. And I believe we've applied to do some panels. Tessa, please correct me on the name of the convention, but it's in New Orleans.
Ooh, cool. That's not too bad of a trek for me.
I was going to say, so I think Heather and Tessa were planning on maybe making a trek out there if we get these panels.
I remember that discussion. You're right.
I don't remember the discussion, but you know what? That's okay. I don't need to know everything. That's a lie. I need to know.
That would be cool, though. To be in New Orleans.
Yeah, that'd be very cool. Big Easy Con. That's right. The Big Easy Con. Hopefully it'll be very easy to get these panels. But I don't think we'll be going if we don't get these panels. So I think that's part of our unfortunately, we kind of had to put a contingency on it that if we're going to get that FaceTime, then we'll be able to go and justify the expense. But we do want to get out there. My goal sometime 2021 maybe is to make it to Gen Con. I'd love to do that. I'd love to go to Dragon Con with Angela. I know they'll probably be there.
Pretty cool.
And then of course,
Anne from Kajari's Curious Crafts lives in Atlanta. I've been trying to see if she wants.
Oh, really?
Point.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Ask if she wants to do some panels. We'll get some panels going over at Dragon Con.
Heck yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right, Mad Rogue, we'll wait.
We can keep talking. I don't think they'll be mad.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine.
So yeah, the meetup was incredible. We had we had almost like 50 people there.
Oh,
that were not Nerdsmith people. Like, I mean, we had 20 or so Nerdsmith people, if not a little more than that. But we had a
little over 20.
Yeah. But then on top of that, another probably 40 or 50 people showed up.
Correct. Yeah, we had 43, 50, 40, about 50 people on top of that show. So we had about 70 people in the room, or 60 people in the room. Yeah. 70 people.
But it was so cool. We got to meet people that had no idea who we were and got to pitch things, and they were super excited when they left. And then we got to meet people who didn't know who we were.
We had people who literally saw that there was a party going on the 4th floor at the Hilton in the lobby and just came up. I don't even think they're gamers. I think they were here for Disney, but they had fun.
Hey, do what you gotta do, man. Get into parties.
I also know that a lot of the Countless Heroes went down to the lobby and started handing out flyers and dragging people up to the thing. So
promote. Learned that from the Kickstarter panel.
Yes.
But yeah, we got to hang out with fans and eventual fans. That was neat. Logan did a really kick-ass job emceeing for the raffle, and we got to not only give away some really cool prizes, but we got to talk about some really cool prizes. So we were able to, people that didn't necessarily win something, we made sure that there were, everybody knew who they were and there were cards and stuff. So hopefully some of those artists and creators got, more foot traffic the next day at the con. That's all we wanted. We just wanted them to be known because their stuff was so cool.
Yeah.
So that felt really good. Yes, thank you, Autumn. All shall be nerd simulated.
There's something wrong with that. They're really.
We are not rebranding Nerdsmith as like a Borg cube.
Well,
that's a pin. That's a pin. All shall be nerd simulated. Autumn.
This sounds.
Damn it.
Autumn, damn.
Yes, Autumn, damn it. So yeah, I was that was tiring but super energizing. I was so happy that I got to meet so many creators that I hadn't met barely anybody in person, but there were a bunch of people that I realized I hadn't really had conversations with, even online, and it was so neat to get to hang out with the cast of champions. I had yet to have the pleasure to talk to Martzi, who's super duper cool, because I'd hung out with Jesse, and then Colin. I got to hang out a little bit with Colin. They were both super awesome. I know I'm probably saying awesome a lot. There needs to be a cap on that. But that's just sort of like, I'm still kind of running high on that whole event, which feels really good after so many days now. Still feeling really good about it. And that's what I wanted out of the con. I wanted to feel like we were reconnecting as a group and feeling like a family. And that definitely was the energy I got from the party. It was really, really neat.
Yes. I am working on creating an album real quick that I will share with the whole party. I forgot to do that before today, but that's okay. They're all uploading right now.
Sure.
So yeah, you'll see a lot of amazing people there.
My husband, Andy, wore a onesie. He was in character as GB from Countless Heroes for much of the evening. I was very proud of him, and he was very warm. I did make the mistake when we got home of telling. I made the mistake of telling my niece that he had a dog costume, and she ran up to him and was like, "Uncle Andy, put the dog costume on," and he's like, "It's really warm." So maybe we'll hold it for Halloween. That's what we're trying to do.
Yes, I did share a lot of things on Discord, but not everyone here is on Discord, and I did not share it publicly, only in the creator section. So this is our public-facing version of it for the thing.
So enjoy.
I know. I shared them all as one image at a time, and I uploaded them all right after another. It was a mistake, and it was already into it. But by the time I could have canceled it, it was already over. So I apologize for anybody who's on our Discord that got a million pings.
Russ got a really good portrait picture of me that I want to use as like my new official picture. It came out really good. I don't know if it was blurry or anything, but it looked really good on the preview panel. So yeah, we had a really kick-ass time. And that was night 2. That was Saturday night. Right?
There's some duplicates in there, similar images. I don't worry about it.
So yeah, that was Saturday night. We had our party. We
yes.
were up late talking. Not to spill too much. It's just we got to hang out and enjoy the present state of Nerdsmith, and then we got to hang out with a few people in the network and talk about the future of Nerdsmith, and that was a very awesome conversation. Give me another adjective.
Incredible, amazing, wonderful.
That was a very enlightening conversation that we had. It was very encouraging to have so many people not only excited about what we've been able to accomplish for the last year, but also what we're looking forward to in the next year or two of Nerdsmith. So I'm just still kind of. Someone earlier in the chat said that we had the con glow is strong, and I am still feeling it.
Yes, absolutely. It was also very nice to meet all the champions of the Earth finally. You know, Jackson Lansing,
Yes,
Gina DeVivo. You know, Colin and Jackson are working on Star Trek Year 5, so we got to go to their panel.
The IDW comic.
The IDW comic, Star Trek Year 5. They're writing for it. They're actually the leads, the heads of that thing, and they got to go to the undisclosed, very secret, and that's a serious statement, Star Trek Archive, where literally every prop that ever existed exists, and all of the merchandise that's ever been created exists. Maybe not all of it like in bulk, but at least one or more of all the merchandise. And they got to spend an entire day there where they had to come up with the plan for 10 comics, which is 5 episodes, or two comics per episode, where they're telling the story of the TOS crew Year 5, which is amazing. So I have not read a comic book in a long time. Well, actually, I did at this con, but I am very, very excited to read that one. Star Trek 2S is my namesake. I mean, my Kirk is my middle name. I was almost James Tiberius. That's a true story. And it literally came down to the day, evidently, where they decided to go with Logan's Run instead of Star Trek. But it was popular. But yeah, no, I'm very excited to see that and to have met them and to met Jackson Lansing, total delight in person. Well, they all are. Amanda, Jesse, Gina DeVivo, incredible person. Jesse, I of course met before, but and then Marcy, of course, who's involved as well. So yeah, they're all really just amazing people. Okay.
I'm talking. It was super cool to get to spend time with them. They have been just really a pleasure to have on the network, and it's been so great to continue doing neat stuff with them.
They're probably the hardest working people that I know. They go above and beyond on everything they do, and I'm very proud to work with them in the future. Hopefully we'll make some other amazing things happen. Who traveled the first to be there? That would be Russell. Russell came from the UK. He flew all the way in from the UK to be there. He just went home. I think he's in New York right now. He's on his way home. I think he's spending a couple days there with a friend. Who do I wish had been there? Everybody who has ever seen any of our shows. Kyle, honestly, you, Matthew, I wish Heavenly, Ellie, all the everybody who's on all of our shows. I wish they could have been there. I would have loved all of them to be there. And then our fans. I mean, we had some fans there, people who watch our shows, who came in. Autumn, of course, yes, everyone. Having fans come in and be like, "Oh yeah, you're the DM. Oh mom, this is the DM or partner or whatever. This is the DM." I was telling you about that I watch on whatever. It's like, okay, this is very strange. And to have them gush about the stories that you tell, and it's funny because I left that situation realizing that. When I'm in situations like that, I get into a networking mode. I've done networking for 12, 15 plus years. So I go to networking events and I'm in a networker's mode. So when I'm throwing a party, I make sure everyone is having a good time. I check on people that haven't been talked to in a long time. And what I failed to do, and I felt really bad, was I didn't spend enough time with our fans. I watched somebody.
Well, on the one hand, you were like, "Wait, what? Fans? You didn't know they were? Well, you didn't realize they were even there."
I didn't even realize that's who they were half the time. But then there were some that were pretty obvious once I took a moment to think about it. But my brain doesn't do that well in those situations. But you look at somebody like Matt Mercer, who I've always impressed by, because I truly believe after seeing Matt Mercer work, be around people. I say work around. That's the wrong term. Be around people who enjoy what he does. He wants to give every single one of them hours. I mean, he wants to sit and talk to every single person. He literally would love to sit down and just give every single one of them an hour of his time. He can't afford to. I mean, he would die. I mean, there's no time. There's not enough time in the world to do that. But he genuinely is that person, and I want to strive to be more like that, because I think that's the right way to treat people who are spending their time and their money to get invested in the goofy shit that we're doing. So that's a little tip. If you're a content creator, your fans, they should be one of the most important people in your lives. And if you ever get a chance to meet them, even if they're a little strange, not saying that any of ours were, but even if they're a little strange, take the time. It'll mean the world to them. And as somebody who's met a lot of crappy celebrities, I to the point where I never wanted to meet another one. I don't ever want to be that person for someone else. Yeah. Okay, got serious. Time to move on.
We did. Let's talk about one set of creators that we met. You put their company name on here, Nikon. Specifically, I think that's short for Nairobi Con. Is that what it's short for?
I don't remember.
I think it is.
So we were running around aisle 800. It was one of the first things first places we went. It just randomly kind of got thrown in there, and wow, Kyle, seems depressing. Okay. Kyle just said that because now I realize there's people on VOD you can't see. If you live to be 80, you'll only get over 700,000 hours of living. Like, wow, that's. Anyway, if I ever get 700,000 fans, then I'll be very, 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 very fucking happy. We get 7,000 fans. We get 7 fans. I'll be very happy. Nikon, so we met 2 gentlemen, Brian and Thomas from Kenya, who were here with Nikon, and didn't know what Nikon was. They said it was a distribution company initially, and they had some comic books. I used to have a friend from Kenya. His name was Malusi. He's a great, really cool guy. It was years and years ago when I was 20. And unfortunately we lost our ways, but I always loved talking to him, because he had a lot of just really amazing stories, and these guys kind of remind me of him. So I spent a little more time than I might have otherwise. And it turned out that they are just really incredible people, that they're fighting hard to build the geek, the geek nation in Kenya. They started a convention, Nikon. There it is in its, I believe they said 7th year, and you can actually go on YouTube and see their entire an hour and a half long video of just the entire convention, of one day of the convention, including all the cosplay and stuff. And it really just blew my mind. I was so very excited to see. I watched that entire video when we got back. But what they did was they told me about the products they had there, and the first thing that surprised me was they were selling their prints. It was a 17 by 11 or whatever it is, and they were selling for $10 each. And I told them that's not enough. These prints are gorgeous. There was a lot of work put into them, and they're very high quality. The cheapest I've seen in Artist Alley was 20. You really should be at least selling them for 20. And I think next year they'll take that seriously, which is good. But I also said, one of the things I'd love to see next year, if possible, is for them to bring the artists there. And they said that
I heard that they got that question a number of times, so I think they are planning on trying to do that.
Yeah, it was. If you go somewhere and you buy a print, appreciate the print for what it is. If the artist isn't there, don't make a face. We were literally there when somebody did that and asked for the artist. They made this weird, like, how dare you face? And I wanted to slap this person. I was like, you know what? You fly to Kenya and you go get the damn signature if you care that much. It felt like they were only getting the art to get the signature. It's like, well, then maybe you find out before if the artist isn't there. I was just grumpy. That's con etiquette. Don't be a dick. Etiquette for life. So we talked to them a bunch, and they had 2 comic books there, and one was they say that you've heard of the chupacabra story. Well, this is like the African chupacabra, and of course cryptids galore in my head. We have lots of cryptid stuff on the network. So I was like, okay, I need that one. And then he says, so this one, and this is the bigger, nicer comic book. He goes, have you ever heard of a little story called Star Wars? And of course, I'm dying laughing. Oh, thank you. Thank you, your boy named Brady. All right, hi Brady. He says, have you ever heard of a little story called Star Wars? I was dying laughing because I love the stupid jokes. And I said, yes, of course. He goes, well, this is an African story told in the world of Star Wars. And I was like, okay, well, I've got to have that one too, because that's amazing. So we got both of them, and we got to about an hour or two before before our meetup. And I said, these are too good. These people are too awesome. I'm going to give these away. I'm going to give them away at the convention. I'm going to have to go back and buy my own because I want to give these away at our meetup. And that's what we did. And lo and behold, out of everyone we invited from the floor, they showed up to our thing. So we gotta kind of spotlight them a little bit and learn a little bit more about them. And they told the same jokes in the front of the group to everyone. Which was great. And we got to kind of spotlight them a bit, which was awesome. They're just really incredible people. And then we find out that they're looking to maybe start a podcast about comic books from Kenya, not just comic books from Kenya, but they're doing the podcast in Kenya, and they'll be talking about comic books, like all comic books. And I was like, oh, this is very cool. So we've offered to help them out. We hope that we can make that happen, because that was just very, very, they're very cool guys. I went back to the booth 3 times to talk to them, just because I just wanted to hang out with them and just go and have fun, because they were just really awesome people. So yeah, we had a lot of fun. So Nikon, take a look over on oh yes, perfect. How are you posting in We Are Nerdsmith?
Because I'm logged in, because I had to change the headers.
Oh,
it's fine.
I see. So you can't do that as just interesting.
Gotta be the owner.
Thank you, Fennec, for the love, for the subscription. We really appreciate that. But yeah, Nikon is really incredible. Go watch the video. Go see. It's almost like looking back. I don't want to say they're backwards. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's kind of going back a few years and looking at what conventions were like before Twilight. Before, when conventions were small, and seeing what it was like when there weren't a lot of people cosplaying, and seeing the passion put into even simple costumes, and the excitement behind finding your group, your people, to kind of rally together and see the nerddom and the sportsmanship in their cosplay. Everybody shaking hands and being friendly, even the losers. As they were being eliminated. It was awesome. I loved it. And I reminded me of going to conventions early on in life. I didn't go to many, but you go to Star Trek conventions, you see people dressed up, and I didn't get cosplaying then. I didn't get any of that. But I wish I had. And it's just really cool seeing people find that. Anyway, so yeah, that is Nikon, and you should go check it out, because it is just freaking incredible.
Heck yeah. Then what happened on the 3rd day of WonderCon?
Well, I was a zombie. We could talk about what happened after the party. Not that thing, the other thing. So we sat down as directors and finally made a decision that we had been kind of mulling over for a while. We've had one person who volunteers a lot of time for us and our community, and does as much work as any of the directors, and gets very little credit for it, and has no stake in the company. Well, we fixed that. It was an injustice, and we fixed that. So we were able to bring Fennec on as kind of a profit share, and promote her to an assistant director position, because Fennec absolutely deserves it. Fennec does so much for us, that she fills a niche that none of us could do. being the social media and the community manager, you think that's something that would be easy for us. But when you've got all these other things to do, it becomes the hardest thing to do. And Fennec stepped in, and hi, Fennec, and just really just overly stepped up to help us out over the last 8 months, and has never stopped, and has only given more and taken on more and more tasks and done more for no pay, no recognition other than the love we throw her. And I mean, we do it behind the scenes too, and that wasn't sitting well with us, because Fennec deserves so much more. And Fennec deserves more than we've got. Fennec is still on track to be the first person we pay. We want to make sure that Fennec is taken care of. But we did everything we could, and we'll continue to do what we can. But yes, so Fennec is amazing. Send all your love to Fennec, and we will make sure that she gets it. Put it in a box or something. I don't know, with cash. Okay. That was something that happened on night 2-ish, 3, between nights 2 and 3, somewhere in the middle of the night when we were talking.
Then on
people need things to live.
Sunday we talked. We went to. I think that was when we went to the Kickstarter panel. Was Sunday.
Kickstarter, and then
part-time. I don't remember what the title was. Had to do with part-time passions.
Full-time work on a part-time. I don't remember.
No, it was. The idea was people who have, quote unquote, real world jobs while they're working on their passion projects, and how to balance that. And yes, thank you. Full-time creative work on a part-time schedule. So how do you actually get your stuff done when you got another job? You got to hoof it. You got to pay bills. You got to pay bills. You got to get all that squared away while still trying to do what you love and build a passion into a career in the future. So that was a good way to end.
Basically, we were doing everything they said already.
But I like those. I like those kind of panels. I like
affirmations. Yes.
I like being able to walk away with new information, but I also like walking away feeling more confident in what our instincts were telling us to do.
I think this entire convention was all about affirmations that we're on the right path. And that was really good. And, I know the show isn't about talking about Nerdsmith necessarily or things, but here we are.
We're leading up to something. I think our in-review needs to talk about what the next 2 weeks are going to be like. Or the next few weeks are going to be like.
Definitely. I figured the in-review will be definitely talking about the rest of the month. Actually, it's the rest of the month, but yeah. It's the last 2 weeks of this month. We're only on the 3rd. It's okay. We've got time. You scared me. Yeah, right. But yeah, it's I don't know. It was overall, it was nice to have those affirmations. The party showed us that we're doing the right thing. We had, like we said, the hardest working people that we know, the champions of the earth. All of them have 2 jobs. One, on top of doing their thing, on top of being a part of Nerdsmith, and every one of them wants to give more to Nerdsmith. It's just, they're running out of time. But it was just really incredible to sit down with them and have them say, we're very happy here. We're being very sincere when we say we're happy with this network. They've been on Geek, some of them have been on Geek and Sundry. They've worked with big names, and they've been around those groups. And to say that you guys are doing everything right, you guys are on the right track. It just, okay, people who are in the industry doing the work that they need to do to make it happen, and they say we're doing that we're on the right track. That was a very good affirmation for us. The party itself, having so many people show up and enjoy themselves, everybody left excited and happy. I think that's another big affirmation. And then throughout every panel, most of the information we got was, yes, we're doing the right thing. And then we picked up some tidbits here and there, but for the most part, you're doing it. Or we picked up here's how you can be doing it, and we already have started implementing how to do that. So overall, Nerdsmith, I think, is on track to take the next big step. And I think over the next year, you're going to see some serious shit, as Doc Brown would say, I think. We don't name panels. Fennec wasn't here for that.
No. We're trying.
Bail! Run away!
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I have much else to say other than just general positivity. It was busy and chaotic,
right,
and
so let's
enlightening and
let's talk about did you have a really fun moment or anything? So Tess and I, we were running around the floor. We went and talked to oh shoot. It's the vampire people. I'm trying to remember what his name is. He wrote a book. Ah, gosh, my brain is broken right now. Tessa, help me out. Who did we talk? Who did we see? We saw like
Dave
8
Walters?
people. Yes, B. Dave Walters. It was B. Dave Walters we went to see, and while we were standing with B. Dave Walters, several of the family came up, and we're all there, including Sam. I'm trying to remember who else was there, but we got to talk to them all. It was a shock because we were like right there. We were blocking the signature line to talk to B. Dave Walters, which was horrible. We're very bad con people. But they were out of the book. There was no more books to buy. But yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun, but it was just more of a, oh crap. Hi. Oh my gosh, you're amazing. Bye. And then we're like, oh damn, I really want to talk to them more. And we could have, but we were just like zoom in, zoom out. I think Tessa's gone, so I don't remember who else was there, but it was basically everybody except
when you don't remember names, don't worry about differentiating who was there.
There was a bunch of vampire people.
That's awesome. The LA by Night crew.
The LA by Night crew, correct. It was Jason Carl was not there, but I think it was everybody else. And that was that. But yeah. Oh, chat is talking about Alpha. I think we should talk about Alpha.
R.I.P. Pour one out. I mean,
there you go. We're done. No, Alpha. We learned a lot about the industry behind the scenes.
I was gonna say we're not going to talk about the behind the scenes stuff. That seems like private information.
Why?
I don't know. Seems like private information.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Chastise me later if I'm wrong. The only thing I wanted to say was we learned a little bit about what Alpha was trying to do.
This was what I was saying not to talk about.
Oh, really? Why?
It seems like private information. I don't know. Go ahead.
What they were trying to do and then didn't? I thought it was
because it sounds like the conversations we were having about things we want to do in the future, so we shouldn't talk about it.
Now I'm not going to say it because you said that part. They didn't know that.
Just don't do it.
All right, so we're not talking about
sorry,
that. Goodbye, Alpha.
We're
sorry to see you.
Of our future plans and stuff.
Should we talk about the state of the sundry then?
I thought we weren't going to complain about anything.
Oh, I wasn't going to complain about anything, but all right. I didn't know there was things.
I wasn't there. I don't know anything. I wasn't there.
I'm just giving you a hard time. No, we're excited to see the future of Geek and Sundry. Ivan Van Norman being kind of the head of things now, being one of the main two, along with that other show they have. My brain is just not working tonight.
Best to just veer away from
Last
naming
name
things.
What the heck is her name?
Deborah Ann Wall.
Deborah Ann Wall. Thank you. Jeez, my brain. It'll be very excited to see where they go, and we wish them the best. That's all. See.
Okay. In review, or do we want to insert?
We got new people here. Say hi.
People.
Perry Matt's been here before.
But while we have people who have just joined in, welcome.
Welcome.
This is our in review. This is our first episode since having our trip to WonderCon this year. We just got back and we've been talking a bit about all the cool panels and people that we've met and our meetup and all that sort of stuff. A lot of sort of hyping up for what's coming up in the next several weeks. We have go ahead.
Sorry, I just want to correct
interrupt.
something. Ivan is, I said the head of something, and I may have made. I didn't want to start a rumor. Ivan is not officially that I'm aware of the head of anything. I just see him as kind of now becoming the front man of Geek and Sundry, kind of the main face, along with Deborah Ann Wall. That was all I was saying. There was that I kind of see him kind of becoming in the forefront of and stepping up as a leadership role. Personally, that's my opinion. There is no official statement that I'm aware of that Ivan is in charge of anything over at Geek and Sundry. So there. I just didn't want to spread rumors. Sorry, I think that's important.
No, that's fair. No, correction is, I'm okay with that. So anyway, we want to plug as many things as possible before our peak of users goes away. The next couple weeks we have our sub drive coming up. This is, I think we have one more episode of this show before the sub drive starts. I believe we start on the 16th.
We start on the 16th. Wait, no.
So
do we? Hold on. I don't know what the map is.
Tuesday.
We start on the 16th. I know that. Yeah. Yes. So yes, the 17th will be our first sub drive episode.
So yeah, we will be having our first Nerdsmith subscription drive, or our sub drive,
and that will be subscriptions over on Nerdsmith, not here.
Yes, not Twitch subscriptions, but our actual network subscriptions.
So why is that, Angela?
Because, well, to be a middleman for our creators feels less productive. We have a subscription service built directly into our website on nerdsmith.org, and it is a way for you to directly support the shows and the creators that you like and want to help enable to continue doing stuff. So we will be doing 2 weeks of special episodes and cool live streams and neat stuff of that nature. Will there be any giveaways? I don't remember.
Well, I mean, we'll be doing a lot of giveaways, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. We on every show is going to be running their normal show, but a lot of them are going to be doing special events. We're hoping to have some special guests on, and maybe make some maybe shows a little bit different than what we would be doing normally. But Countless Heroes is going to not be streaming during that 2 weeks, as we are going to take every Countless Heroes time slot and a bunch of extra time slots that we're just kind of shoving into our schedule to run a bunch of one-shots, not just with Nerdsmith people, but the entire community at large. We are reaching out. We've got 21 people signed up right now to be involved, Nerdsmith and outside, and we have more
almost
coming.
Like a whole new West Marches campaign.
Yes, and if you have a webcam and a microphone or a headset, you're welcome to sign up too, and we'll put the link for the doodle poll that you can go fill out, and that closes this Saturday. Spread the word, because we would love to play with all sorts of people. That's the goal.
I don't have the link to the doodle.
I have it. I'm going to get it in just a second.
Okay. And then to answer Kyle's question, who does it start with and what's the first event? We will be releasing our calendar as soon as we can. Right now we're still collecting people to volunteer, and then we will be constructing a schedule for events.
So we have it. He's being cheeky. We actually have a Saturday afternoon event planned, which will technically launch us. However, that evening in the CH time slot at 7:30, Kyle Gold is going to be running our the first one's kind of like a pre-game talk show. That one's going to be the main launching point, I think, was what he was getting at there. But I forgot that we actually did have an afternoon before that. Bye, Finn.
Logan, if you could track down the doodle poll, that would be
I am working on that right now.
Useful. We have lots of cool stuff. I'm super excited about getting the Nerdsmith folks mixed and matched to play some different things.
And if you want to run, so when you fill out this doodle poll, please give us your contact information in the comments. Otherwise, we won't know who you are or something, because we have got some people on here I'm having to track down because I don't know who they are. So maybe put your email address as well as your phone number, or as well as, don't put your phone number, your email address as well as your name. And then if you want to be a DM or not, or reach out to us at some point. Heather is taking point on this, so it's heather@nerdsmith.org for the scheduling, but I'm going to get the link for you right now. There you go.
Thank you. So, and I'll put heather@nerdsmith.org if you need any questions answered, or Doodle Poll's not working for you for some reason, but you just want to volunteer. That's a useful place to go check out. Talk to Heather.
We're going to be Nerdsmith is giving a little gift to each of the DMs, because we have DMs that have no stake in our company coming in to do some very nice things. But also during this 2 weeks, in addition to supporting our sub drive, we're going to have a donation link to be able to tip the DMs, to be able to thank them for all the amazing work they're doing for our network for free. So we really do appreciate all of the volunteers. So we are going to have that as a little extra thank you. So hopefully, if you enjoy the shows, you throw $1 or $2 at the DMs to help thank them for their time, because it does take a lot of time and effort to do what they're doing, especially one shots with people they don't know. It can be a little daunting.
Should still be a very good time. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, and we'll be in full swing with a couple of things. I believe Final Rights is going to have at least one episode during that. During the second week, I think of it, because, okay, I guess April 9th is coming up. There are single digits on the countdown clocks on our website for the premieres of Final Rights, our Tuesday afternoon, every other week stream, and Shenanigans, which will be every Tuesday night. We're going to have our sort of first get-together since converting from podcast to live stream on April 9th. So you guys can go check that out. We will be having lots of wonderful fun. Final Rights, we have our we did our session 0 a couple weeks ago, so that we sort of got a handle on what I guess I should just say Final Rights is an all tiefling D&D show where our crew, including myself, are going to be sailing the River Styx on a infernal riverboat. It's going to be gambling and troublemakers and warlocks and all sorts of stuff as we act as neutral ground between demons and devils. It's a D&D 5e system game. So we will be having lots of fun. There will be lots of flirting and shenanigans. And then later in the day, there will be shenanigans. And we're very excited about finally stepping back into the world of Vale on a different continent. So the same setting as Countless Heroes, but if anyone here watches Countless Heroes,
more digestible.
A little more digestible. But anybody who watches Countless Heroes or is a little bit aware, Shenanigans is the story of a number of members of the Birchfield Institute. They are adventurers under the employ of the famed Birchfield. So you get to go hang out on the continent that they are based off of, not just sailing to the continent of Countless Heroes. And you'll get to see some cool, I believe we've dubbed it industrial fantasy. It's a little more technology and industry based, maybe closer to steampunk than high fantasy, where we're just kind of playing around with that aesthetic a little bit. I'm very much looking forward to it. You'll see all Countless Heroes members are in that show. So it's Logan's running it as DM. I am in it. Heather, who plays Soxy on Countless Heroes. Kyle, who plays Pip on Countless Heroes. Tessa, who plays Callie. And Mike, who plays Lark. I had it. You beat me. Okay. And so we will all be playing fun, relatively different characters than who we play on Countless. So it's very fun. So yeah, I'm just super excited for the 9th. I'm just really, really jazzed about it.
It's going to be a really, really good day on the 9th there. And then what else? So we were talking a little bit about why we do subscriptions to the Nerdsmith Network. So when we do a subscription through the Nerdsmith Network, the creators get twice as much money as they do from subscriptions from here. So that is one reason why we're pushing the Nerdsmith Network. But besides that, it just overall your support goes farther there, even with the network as well. The network gets twice as much money as well. It's just a little bit nicer of a, actually we get more than double. It's just a better way for us to do things. One of the big things over there is why we do subscriptions over one-time donations is the idea that we want to be able to give our creators consistent income so they can know what is coming every month. So they know that when they start making a livable wage, it'll still be there the next day, and
tips are incredibly generous.
Yes, they
and
are, absolutely,
love them, and
and
we
appreciate
them. But yeah, the idea of being able to think, all right, well, I made, just for an example, okay, I made my rent this month, but I got to make sure that people tip me enough so I can make rent next month, as opposed to having something predictable and secure. We want to make sure our artists
coming from a show, Countless Heroes, that makes most of its money on tips right now, that varies greatly. We had about a 90% shift between January and February in tips, and it was not in the good way. So it, if we were dependent on that income to be able to survive, it would not have worked out for us. It would have been a very, very kind of it would have been a bad month. But that's okay. Right now, we don't necessarily need the money, although we do greatly appreciate it. And it just really what it means is we gave less to, we didn't have as much to give to the Trevor Project, because we passed most of the money, the creator money for that show onto the Trevor Project.
That's right. So Countless Heroes is back to donating money to the Trevor Project after WonderCon.
Well, we've been donating subscriptions and things. It was just the bits. But yeah, now all bits going through through Countless Heroes for the remainder of the campaign, which is probably going to be around another 2 months or so, will go towards back towards the Trevor Project. And then that will, at least for the time being, probably be the end of our relationship with the Trevor Project until we either pick them up for another charity drive or we find another show that we want to do donations to them to. But we've given a lot of money over the last year to them, and I'm very excited about that. Another reason why you may want to wait to subscribe over at Nerdsmith is we will have a lot more amazing incentives coming up for that. And we're going to talk a lot more about those later, but let's say there's going to be a very unique pin that you'll be able to get. It's a subscriber 2019 pin. We're still working on the design on, but I'm loving everything we're coming up with, and we will but it will be unique to only for 2019 subscribers. And if you need an extra one, you want to buy an extra one, you'll be able to do that, I think, until we run out. And then we have a special mug. We did a big glass Stein mug last year. This year we've got.
I don't have it on me, but I have it in my kitchen.
We have an actual nice coffee mug we're going to do that'll actually be, instead of a decal, it'll actually be a screen printed on. Although the decal stays forever.
It does.
It worked really well.
Dishwasher. How long you been in the dishwasher? It's still there.
Great. And then there's you'll get a D6, a metal D6 from Die Hard Dice. We went with the D6 instead of the D20 because it seems like more people want them. Because if you board game or something like that, you don't necessarily.
These are giveaways for different tiers of subscribers.
Yeah, they're different tiers. So we're working on which tiers get which, but these are the types of things we'll be having. And then I think you don't get the die until you get to the champion tier. And on the champion tier, you also get the PDF version of our Nerdsmith cookbook, which is going to have a bunch of recipes and narrations by our own Pip. Kyle is going to be
who was really the only qualified editor and
person. Yes,
he was our most qualified editor and chef.
And at the superstar level, which is a $35 a month level, that is you get the physical copy of the cookbook as well as all the rest.
Yeah, we're gonna finish sorting out all of who gets what. We will put out official things, and you'll hear about it on our show. We'll definitely take the time to tell you what those tiers will do.
And if we get 250 subscribers, which is our goal this year, then I am not going to cut my hair for 6 months. And every Friday on the night, whatever I'm doing, whatever game it is I'll be involved with, and it'll be one of them, Tessa gets to do my hair however she wants. So I agreed to that, I guess.
He's given for the cause.
So, 250 subscribers. So tell your friends, get them involved now, get them into a show. Final Rites is going to be a really good one to get into. Shenanigans will be a good one to pop into.
Just starting up.
I know Countless Heroes coming to an end here. It's hard to get people to involved in that one. That's okay. But have them come to the sub drive and see what Nerdsmith can be in the future. Have them check out things like Curious Crafts is a great one, or if they're into Podcast Champions, Chaotic Goodness. Plot Hunters is a great stream on Saturday evenings if you're available. The podcast, another good podcast, Monster Crush. They're all good. I can't say enough about all of them. Tooth and Nail, Monster Crush is one of my favorites, though.
WAND Radio.
WAND Radio. That's that. You don't need to watch that one. That one's definitely not safe for work at all on any level. It's not even safe for listening.
Kyle, the campaign currently running for Countless Heroes will be ending eventually, closer than later, sooner than later. But Countless Heroes will exist in other forms. That show is not going away, but that campaign is coming to a close.
Well, actually, now that we're talking more about it, I don't see. Originally, the idea was I thought I was going to be DMing a lot more. We're doing some restructuring and realizing I don't have 5 nights a week to run. We might consider calling the Wednesday, we're doing that Wednesday one shots, or anytime we do one shots, we might call them Countless Heroes, because the idea is that we're just bringing a countless number of people constantly. So yeah, so it'll definitely be a different type of show, or we're not going to do another
West Marches campaign.
West Marches style campaign. It's more work than we have time
Kyle,
for.
That's not true. This campaign is not just simply fading away. Like, Logan apparently has an ending, and it makes us all nervous.
The ending's already done. I already have the ending. I know where we're going. I know how we're getting there. But there is a chance that the players are going to screw with this greatly. I never lock anything in 100%. But I have 2 possible major endings,
and that's all you should say. Don't say more.
And one of them is the one that I'm pretty sure is going to happen. I at least have one major event that I know is going to happen that I don't think is possible for the players to stop. Yeah, I think it's a fixed point in time.
I mean, how can you stop the dinosaurs taking over the Earth?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It's impossible.
I like that one.
So there's a third option. And as I had mentioned before, since Final Rites, we filmed our session 0. That is something you might have the chance to watch, because it will be one of our it'll be our first show's bonus content.
Of course, the most important thing we can get from subscribing, I forgot, is
all subscribers. All subscribers will get access to our bonus content, and anybody who participated in Nerds Giving in November, our charity event, the bonus content that was created for Nerds Giving is going to be wrapped into our standard Nerdsmith bonus content. So anything, if you didn't get a chance to donate to charity in November, you will get a chance to check out that bonus content that you might have missed once the sub drive shows up. So if you're already a subscriber, you're going to get an influx of some really cool new stuff that you haven't seen yet. And we will be adding new stuff for our shows for the sub drive. So there will be a lot of stuff. We're starting to accumulate quite a bit of cool bonus content, so I'm very excited.
And we'll be putting together some promos, I hope, for some of the bonus content to kind of tease a little bit of it. I know that Shenanigans episode of Og, the caveman role-playing game, where we twisted the game up a little bit and played Squawk, the pirate parrot role-playing game in character, run by Bonnie. The in-game character was a hoot and a half. It was absolutely one of my favorite. Being the DM of the game normally, I played Pugnut, the goblin, one of the favorite characters of that game. Learning what a parrot is for the first time, and
becoming taking a lot of artistic license with what he thinks a parrot is,
which kind of became the whole theme of the game, was Pugnut's artistic license. But it was a lot of fun. It was probably some of the best 45 minutes, hour of gaming, best one-page one-shots I had played ever, I think. And that was a lot of fun. And then what else?
We will consider it, Kyle. I'll consider it as someone who is slightly in charge of marketing and branding for the network. I will consider letting Logan talk about Alpha and Geek and Sundry on our bonus content.
Literally, it's public information. Whatever. Anyway. What are we doing, Angela? We're going to be recording that after this if my camera holds out.
Yeah, I will be running for Logan a game of what I'm calling Monster Mash. which is it'll basically be if anybody out there at school when they were in grade school ever played with those little I don't remember
Cootie
what
catchers.
you call them. It was like cootie catchers, but it's not quite the same game.
Fortune tellers.
But it's MASH was mansion, apartment, shack, house, and you would give your options for different topics, and then you'd come up with a random number, and you'd count through the list and just randomly generate your future, your 100% proven MASH future. So we're going to be playing Monster Mash, and then I have one for Logan specifically because I had good questions that I wanted to ask him. So we're going to also come up with his 100% MASH future. Yeah, I'm very excited. We're going to run that after the show today, and that'll be our bonus content.
If my camera holds out. For those that don't know, and I think that's everybody, when I took all my equipment with me and came back, I have a continuous power supply for the camera that stopped working. So right now I am running on battery power, and I just hope that it's going to last at least until the end of this thing, which is 25 minutes. But last night I only got about an hour and a half, so it could shut off at any time, and I'll have to go and switch the battery out real quick. But I've only got one battery after this, not two, so I have no idea what's going to happen. Anyway, that was that. So if I freeze in an awkward position, please don't think
we'll turn it into a podcast if he freezes in an awkward position.
I do have a new one showing up at some point today, so we can do that too. But I also have to produce tonight. I must be doing production for Homebrew Studios, which is coming at 5 o'clock tonight, 5 o'clock PST, with Matthew Siebert, a very serious show about homebrew and creating homebrew and how to modify monsters and make them serious.
Right, no humor, all serious.
My streaming mode seems to have turned off because I'm hearing all sorts of crap. Hold on a second.
That's all good. So yeah, Homebrew Studios tonight. Is there a Countless Heroes tonight, Logan?
I don't know what I'm hearing.
All right, I won't ask him questions.
Okay, sorry, I've got just bleeping going on constantly. Oh, I think it's Angela posting on. Oh no, it's not. It's
no, I don't.
Facebook.
Don't look at me.
You posted a puppy dog about 43 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Somebody's pinging me on Facebook.
So yeah, we will be continuing to talk about our sub drive as the weeks go on, and we would love if you're thinking about subscribing or thinking about upgrading your subscription. We will do our darndest to prove why you should, and you should consider waiting until April 16th through April 30th so that we can help contribute to Logan bequeathing control of his hairstyling on Friday to Tessa. I think that's a worthy goal.
Yeah. Also, around 250 subscribers, just because I believe in at least a little bit of transparency, that puts the network really in a good position for the next year to be able to pay for advancing things that we want to advance, including possibly getting a little money to our community manager and things. So it is a very ideal position. So we really hope that you can help us make that happen. The only way that groups like ours are going to survive in the current climate is through direct support. And, it's been a model that's worked for decades, with PBS and NPR and things like that. And it's more important now than ever, and it's more successful now than ever. And we really appreciate anything. And even if you can't afford to give, we still appreciate you being here and listening. All we ask is maybe share it. Find other people, bring in, 2 friends, and then each one of them will find 2 friends, and then each one of them can bring in 2 friends, and then eventually we'll have an Amway cult.
Maybe not that.
Okay. All right. Not that.
But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the sub drive. I'm looking forward to sort of hopping out of our normal boxes and mixing it up. We will have our Nerdsmith streaming mixer. And I'm super duper excited. There are some very fun things on the horizon for the next couple weeks, and we're busting our butts trying to get some of it done, and we will get it done for the sub drive, and I'm so excited.
Yeah. Man, my throat's killing me. So I Need some Peppaco. That's what I need. I think overall, it's kind of in review, since that's right, kind of where we're at. WonderCon was an excellent thing for us. We had a lot of good meetings between all the directors, and I think we've walked away with a little bit of a restructuring for how we do things that I think is going to bring us a lot farther towards being the network that I know we can be. And in addition to that, we've got some new plans for marketing, which I think is going to help us get out there. But of course, the best marketing in the world is word of mouth, as I just said. And if everyone out there could share, do reviews of our podcasts, any of the podcasts you listen to, reviews are huge. Just continue to enjoy and bring other friends into our fold. That helps a lot. Also, something we fixed right before WonderCon, our Discord, if you're on our Discord, no longer has 5 million steps to get involved. You only need one step. You type one code and it unlocks the entire server. No more. And that's just to stop the riffraff and the bots and things from getting into us, or people that'll come in and just want to post weird, horrible NSFW stuff. You come in and there's just one question to answer. What show brought you? What show are you here to hear about? And that will get you into our server. So please share the server. We can build our Discord up and continue to build our very safe and welcoming community. Sound like the end of the show, but it's not. We got 20 minutes left.
Trying to think. PA Perryman asked if we would be coming to Rose City Comic Con again this year.
Yes.
That is our intention.
We're coming. There's no Angela. I don't know if Angela can make it, but
that's my intention.
Rose City Comic Con. That is our other major con. Those are the two major cons we want to do every year. Everything else is kind of in flux. We want to add a lot of cons throughout all of Northern California or all of the West Coast. I mean, but our Rose City Comic Con is kind of a perfect driving distance for Tessa and I, and we can bring all of our equipment. We will not have a booth, and we'll probably do a minor meetup like we did last year. We won't do a big one just because of the cost involved in doing meetups. But we'll definitely have a meetup up at RCCC, and I hope that they are generous again with us and allow us to do some panels up there, and we can bring all of our amazing creators up there again. But yes, absolutely, that is definitely on the list. Rose City and WonderCon will be our two big cons every year. And that's in 166 days.
Exciting. All right.
Yeah. Rose City actually treated us extremely nice. I mean, they were very generous with us and the pro passes and things. And normally they have a limit on pro passes, and we had I think it's 4 or 3 pro passes, and we had 6 people on the panel plus us last year, and they gave us all pro passes, and it was just super generous. They're just amazing. They took very good care of us, and I got to say, WonderCon, dealing with them in the last few days has since then, getting our booth and things, they've been wonderful. And the Hilton down there, Hilton Anaheim, was also incredible. Not that I'm trying to shill or promote for them, but they were wonderful, and I believe we should talk about people who are wonderful. They went above and beyond for us, and I know we went over our limit of people. Technically, we thought we'd have 40, and we went up to like 60-ish. They could have charged us more, but they didn't. They're very good people. So they're good peoples. Good people.
All right, let's see.
What else?
Couple of things. I'm just sort of glancing at.
Did we shill for sponsors?
We shilled a little bit for sponsors. I did just want to give a shout out to our one of our podcasts.
Oh, you mean on this show? I thought you meant at WonderCon.
Yes.
Yes. On this show, we have not shilled for sponsors yet, so we should probably do that.
Oh, well, real quick, before I forget to do it. Matthew, thank you for reminding us to shill for sponsors, but I wanted to give a shout out. The Land Above podcast, I just saw on Twitter that in the 3 months they've been posting, they just passed 500 downloads. I'm very proud of them. Woo! Congratulations, guys. And
good job, guys.
And they'll be airing episode 8 very soon, so take a look at the Land Above on you can find them on nerdsmith.org or on Twitter at TLA Podcast.
Is that knocking on my side or your side?
It's on my side. They're fixing my apartment. It's fine.
No, it's fine. I was like, who's pounding? Yes, the Land Above podcast. So cool. Go take a look at that. That's a lot of fun too.
They're
I forgot.
outside.
See, I can't. I never remember. We got so many shows on the network. I can't remember them all.
They're right outside my window. Continue, please. I won't be able to talk as much as they hammer outside my door.
What were we talking about? Oh, Die Hard Dice. So, this show is sponsored by World Anvil and Die Hard Dice. World Anvil is the most robust world building software that exists on the internet today. I know because I've tried them all, and they have 200,000 active users. They are amazing and incredible people. They sponsored our big meetup, and we're going to be doing some really fun things with them very soon in the future, I am sure. So go to worldanvil.com and give them your money because they deserve it. Then you can go to Die Hard Dice after that and check them out. dieharddice.com and see all the amazing dice they have there. They have their new Dire D20s and of course the available only on April 1st for 1 day only was the diminutive D20s, which you need a pair of tweezers to see, which were hilarious. Very swallowable size. I thought it was perfect. All comes back to 4. Anyway, they are hilarious and a lot of fun. We love them very much. I wish that we weren't at WonderCon so we could have come up with a bunch of fun things to do for April Fools. We'll get you next year. And yeah, so there's that. If you would like to get some Die Hard Dice at a super awesome discount, you can use the coupon code DRPG. 4 little letters gets you 15% off your order. And that's your entire first or next order as long as you've only used the coupon code the one time. And then if you want to, buy some more dice later, you can go listen to some of the other amazing shows on the network. And because quite a few of them, I think almost all of them at this point, have their own little coupon codes that you can get and show our sponsors that we're awesome, that you enjoy purchasing by hearing about them here. You will not find better metal dice that exist anywhere other than maybe the Level Up tungsten dice, which are $600 each. That's about it. Their tungsten dice are pretty amazing, but they usually specialize in precious gemstones and things, which they're gorgeous too. But anyway, go to Die Hard Dice. They're more in the budget for most people. And check them out. And all their amazing metal sets. They came out with like 3 new sets of dice while we were at WonderCon, I think, or they're going to be very soon. I haven't even had a chance to look because literally yesterday I was at work and today I'm here. So I haven't had a chance to look, but I'm sure there's some amazing things over there. And if you find anything that you really, really like, or if you have some Die Hard dice, tell us about your experience. Tell us what your packaging was like. Tell us if they sent you a little note. They often do that. And tell us how much you love your Die Hard dice so we can share that with them as well. I
think that's very good. That's very, very good.
Cool. We still got 14 minutes.
We do.
Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah. Pull up your questions. We are in April. Next week I will take a look. Actually, I'll do it now. But we are in April, which means we are in our April giveaway time frame for our Die Hard Dice giveaway.
One of our big games.
Yeah,
one of our big special events.
So here's what I would like you to do. You do me a dear favor if you would do this for me. Viewers, if you would please tweet out at us using the hashtag DiscoverRPG and perhaps follow us. Well, no, not perhaps. Please follow us and use the hashtag DiscoverRPG. Send us questions or pretty much any... This is very hard to do with hammering. Anything that has to do with RPGs or gaming, questions, examples, stories that you want to tell, memes, auto-completes with your phone that's Discover RPG is blank and you fill it out. Anything like that will make you eligible for our random giveaway for a free full set of Die Hard dice, completely of your choice, metal or polymer, and free shipping from Die Hard, and they're amazing and super beautiful. The last person who won our February giveaway informed me that they not only used their free dice code, they also bought way too much additional dice because everything was so pretty and they had trouble picking. So I think that's as good a stamp of approval as anything else. So please consider it. I will take a look and see if we had enough from March to be able to run a March giveaway. But I will double check, and we definitely have one going for April, and we'll try to, if we have enough people, we will try to announce during the sub drive, but I'm thinking we give them the full month. So at the end of the sub drive, we would announce.
And then if we don't have enough just in this month, we could just run in March and April together and probably give one away anyway.
Yeah, that's true. No, we sadly didn't have anybody in March. That's okay. That's just so you know how good your chances are if you decide to participate right now.
It's a really good chance to participate.
But yes, please consider doing that. We love hearing from you guys. February was super awesome. We got a lot of really cool stuff.
We could sign up with one of those companies that are like, here, click on this and click on that and get one more entry and sign up, and every person you bring, get 3 more entries. And we don't want to be those people. We don't put advertising on our website. We don't want to be the people that use those obnoxious pop-ups and those things where you have to come back every day to get more entries. We're just looking for a little love, and we want to give some dice in exchange. So, if you love the show, if you think it's worthwhile, if you think there's information, maybe not in this episode, that other people might be interested in, just share it. That's all.
So I'm going to be keeping an eye out, and I will personally thank you if you post something, because I'll be keeping an eye on who posts things. I will send you a personally selected gift just for you if you use the hashtag. I will respond for the month of April.
When we log off here, there's going to be a beautiful little calendar sitting where our faces are right now.
Yes.
But that calendar is missing a bunch of shows. I don't think it has final rights on it. It doesn't have shenanigans.
Because we hadn't officially announced their timing.
I'm wondering if that will be fixed.
I can do so today.
Because I think that since we're talking about those shows, and we're asking people to share the Twitch channel and our show specifically, that maybe that might be awesome if we could get that done. I don't want to put any pressure on you, but
I have no problem. I have it.
I thought it was already.
I had hesitated doing it until we had officially announced their premiere dates.
I agree. I agree with that completely. But
I've got it.
This was just my.
You can stop asking.
My sneaky way of
you can stop asking. I have it open. I have it open. It's open.
I was trying to be playful. Okay.
It's done. It's open. I'll replace it in a bit. Anyway, so now you guys have a sneak peek of how our creative process works.
That's what the show is about, is our sneak peek. This was supposed to be just us bantering half the time. And this is what we do. Literally, this is what we do.
If any of you in chat have a suggestion for something a question, especially Matthew, because you're really good at doing like custom monsters and stuff. If you have a suggestion for a question that I should ask Logan during Monster Mash to help randomly generate a monster, please let me know. Put it in chat, because he will be giving me 3 possible answers to the question, and then we will be randomly selecting one of those as part of the monster that we build. So I think that would be very fun if you all would participate a little bit in my. I have a list of questions, but if you have something fun, I will throw it in.
Okay, that sounds like fun. I really have no idea how this game is played. I've never played it.
It'll be fine. It's free association. That's all it is.
Yeah, I know. I understand the basic concept. It's just I'm.
Very good, Matthew. Perfect. I like it. I knew I could count on you.
Count on me. That's not a song. I don't know where I was going with that.
You were writing a song.
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
8 minutes.
Have we ever had this problem?
We've never had this problem before. I'm trying to think if there's anything more about WonderCon we could talk about. If there's anything else we could talk about. What else can we talk about? I don't know.
I just found a one-shot.
We have more viewers now than we've ever had. So, that's
I found a one-shot RPG that I would like to talk about next week.
Okay. Which one?
It is called, let me pull it up. I just downloaded it. It's called Noir. LS,
The cat one?
Noir LS El Son. It's you play a bunch of femme fatales trying to rescue the drunk, belligerent detective who went missing. So you're all like, fine, I guess we have to rescue him before he can solve our cases. So I want to go take a look at that.
Sounds like 90% of the Sherlock episode.
You Samurai, we must be following the same people on Twitter that you saw that same one, because it's on my list now. There are other things that I have downloaded that I would like to review in the future. I got Dungeons and Doggies. I'm so excited. I got the figures, and I got the campaign setting, or the campaign rules, and the character rules. So I'm and a couple of modules. So I have those. So I will be reading through them and reviewing them, because I am very enamored with the entire concept, and it seems to have been executed incredibly well. So that makes me very happy. There was something else.
I honestly didn't think my camera was going to last this long, so that's why we didn't.
Well, congratulations.
This is a very strange script we wrote this week.
Sorry, the hammering is...
Yes, and Angela. Yes, and.
I'm sorry, the hammering's right outside my window. It just...
I know.
It sounds like they're getting closer. It's like
a
horror movie.
You know how much it cost us to get a guy to come and hammer on her window as part of this?
Yeah, it's an elaborate system of pulleys and levers to get this Foley to work. It's actually foot pedal operated. Thank you, Jay. I hate it. Yes, Angela. Oh, I hate it.
Funny. Yeah, I won't use that one. But
another one that we should consider doing at some point is the Malady Codex came out with a volume 2.
That's
try
true.
to get them on here.
Let's talk about other gross diseases. That's always
well. It's diseases.
At
it's diseases of the mind. Apparently, is volume 2. So lots of psychic damage, I imagine. We'll take a look at it. We'll take a look, and we'll
let's take a look at it, because there might be some. I'm curious how they handled dealing with mental illness and stuff. That'll be interesting, because that's kind of it's a sensitive subject.
Threading the needle a little bit, equating mental illness with magical cures and stuff. So
we'll take a look at that. That one might be more serious than the last one. That's interesting. I'm very interested in that. I'm gonna say interesting because I like.
What have I been doing?
It's interesting.
I've been. All week, I've been writing lots of details about my gentle D&D idea. I've got lots of cool ideas that I've been writing down. One of which is a NPC that I'm really enjoying. He is a paladin of redemption, Oath of Redemption. The Oath of Redemption, I believe, came from Xanathar's Guide, and the idea is kind of not a pacifist paladin, but a violence as very last resort. So it's building a character who some of your abilities actually hinge on you playing a protective tank as long as you're not hitting something, which is a very interesting way to play a paladin. But I'm building this this young paladin who he has only one arm. He lost a hand. And I like this idea of playing with a paladin that utilizes a shield as their primary activity during combat, but then also utilizes spiritual weapon as their sort of weapon default. So I'm going to play around with it a little bit. I might even do something where you can shield bash for smite damage or something, since he's only got the one wieldable weapon. But this idea of using spiritual weapon as their primary offensive weapon, being your divine. They do. Mad Rogue. He's a redemption oath paladin. I look forward to introducing y'all to Gil. His name is Gil, and he's very sweet.
Very cool.
But I'm very pleased with this paladin build, and I've come up with a bunch of other encounter ideas that are not combat focused. A hint, a little preview. One of them involves dire bumblebees.
Ooh. Like big, soft, fuzzy bumblebees?
Yep, it involves pollen being an environmental problem and needing to help deal with the pollen problem. But yeah, I was very excited.
Dire pollen.
But so I was coming up with, at least you can't be allergic to it. It's too big to get in your nose if it's dire pollen.
Or it just gets way up in there and doesn't come out.
Oh, God. And also, yes, Kyle, I was considering Shieldmaster feat for this paladin. And he's an NPC, so I don't feel as beholden to PC rules. So I'm gonna fudge them a little bit just to make him interesting. I'm finding that that's a fun way to do it, that the PCs, your players operate on a certain rule set just for the sake of fairness. But you make an NPC, why not give them a one-trick unique thing that makes them different? Yeah. And it's not necessarily something a PC would have. Kyle said one of his PCs in Forge of Fury is a pacifist paladin redemption oath. Yeah, the redemption oath is interesting. I'm very intrigued by it, but it is very much I am standing in front of people. I will protect them. Protection's clearly one that you would do. You're a tank. You take damage. You're able to take damage for other players. You basically have a natural warding bond that you can take damage for people. But your job is not to necessarily beat the shit out of things. It is to try to see the good and the redemptive opportunities as much as possible. And that only when you reach a point of there is no way to bring this thing to the light, then you resort to violence. You understand there's no way to save this person.
I like that.
But yeah, I have to give props to whoever plays them. It seems very hard that it could be very obnoxious for players that want to just get into scuffles to constantly be like, no, give me a chance. I want to try to talk it out every time. Which is why I'm building an NPC. I can't hear you, or unless you're talking to Tessa.
Angela, what's the name of our theme song?
It is called Boogie Woogie. It's a good song.
It was a deleted song.
Oh no! I might have moved it.
Nope, not you, me. Yeah, it doesn't exist in our audio, in the audio for.
Oh gosh!
So, but because we forgot about it, because we got our dance party.
We did. We didn't have a dance party during the beginning. So it is 1 past the hour. Thank you all so much for joining us for Discover RPG. We are so happy to be back. WonderCon was an incredibly energizing experience, and I can't wait to see what the next month has in store for us. We hope you all will consider sticking with us for the sub drive, whether that's joining us as a subscriber or upping your subscription, perhaps. Let us know what we can do to convince you to do so. We would happily negotiate within a certain reason. But we want to know what you want to see. We want to know what kind of content you enjoy the most. So the best way to show us that is to use our sponsor links, tell them you like us, and to subscribe. And when you subscribe, share your gifted creator coins with the shows that you love the most and show them your love.
Yes, and if you do have some things that you don't like about our show or things you think we could change or you want to update, you can always give us some feedback over on nerdsmith.org by clicking the contact link. I think it's a little, it actually doesn't say contact anymore. What is it? It's a little icon in the top right somewhere, right? I don't remember what it is. We have something. Or you can contact us. My DMs are open on every possible network. And so is Nerdsmith directly. You can give us a little bit of feedback. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you don't. Let us know what you think we could change. If we get enough feedback one way or another, we might make some modifications. Thank you very much, P.A. Perryman, for giving your a gift sub over to Mad Rogue 25. It's very, very generous. We really appreciate that so much. Thank you guys for everything you do. You take very good care of us. We are a new, young show, and a lot of you have been very loyal to us, and we really appreciate that. We hope that we can continue to entertain you and to bring you some good information now and then, so that we can continue making our show.
Well said. Well said. It is now 3 past the hour. Thank you all so much for joining, and we hope to see you next week on Discover RPG. And before you go,
RPG.
please promise to be good to each other.
Bye-bye.